ratted us out.
All right, so for all things Gators, Dan Hicken and Frank Frangie. Hick, that is a sweet hoodie. I don't know. You're not hip enough for that hoodie, though. That's my.
No, I'm not. I'm not hip enough, but I like to wear stuff if I like it, and it's very comfortable. So, my boys from Live Forever Golf gave that to me. Thank you, Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, se-ortho.com. I was just thinking about this. I saw some things like the Gators. In my head, I can't really wrap my brain around 3-7.
I know.
That's their record, 3-7. I heard they lost 5 road games for the first time since 1979. I know you were a senior back then.
Yes, I was.
I don't know. Were you? Close, right?
I graduated in 80, so close enough. Junior.
Yeah. And all the losses on the road, double-digit points, just some really things that are just awful. Just awful. But there's a lot more going on, obviously, in the Florida football program that we need to talk to. But as for the game, you know what? I thought the game is exactly why Lane Kiffin goes to Florida. He's got his best team he's ever had at Ole Miss. They're really good. And the Gators battled them. They battled them, and if Lane Kiffin was coaching Florida, Florida would have won the game. So.
I'll say this all along. Whoever gets that job is getting dudes. When Muschamp, McElwain, and even Mullen got fired, there was some work to do. This is more like when Zook got fired and you knew they had some dudes. It's like when Galen Hall got fired and Steve Spurrier told us all, look, they have a pretty good team we're inheriting here.
Yeah.
I think it's like that. No matter how many guys keep getting hurt on that, they've got some dudes on that. This Miles Graham is a really good player. Some of their linemen, they have got legitimately good players. I'll say this too. I thought about this. They had Vernell Brown out, Dallas Wilson out, Eugene Wilson out, and they still had Mizell and Tank Hawkins, who's taking the red shirt.
Yep.
And they still had Abrams and Sturdivant and Mizell. I'll tell you what, for a team that's not very good, the depth at some of those positions, like wide receiver, is crazy. Now, their passing game is not very good, and DJ struggles, so you don't see him as much as you'd like to. But there's some dudes on that team, Dan, to your point. The team's not very good, but the individual pieces are. And when Lane Kiffin gets the job, and I think he's going to, and I think he's going to take it, and I think he's going to happen around the Egg Bowl, maybe right after, I think he'll step right in, and it'll be a good football team. That's the story. We'll get to the game. But the story right now is, what are you hearing? What are your expectations about the job? Because that's anyone that turns this on right now, they're thinking, thank you, Dan and Frank, for talking about the game the other night. Now we're done. Dan, what are your expectations? What have you heard in terms of the pursuit of Lane?
Well, I think that most feel like, and the buzz that I hear is that Kiffin has accepted the terms, and they will announce after the Egg Bowl, before the playoff. It's even gone so far as to like Ole Miss may not want him coaching the playoffs. Don't know the situation, how that's going to work. And there are little clues along the way that you follow. So I think I think Lane Kiffin will be the next coach of the Gators. Now, look, emotion is a big part of it. And he was set to, if you watch the documentary, he was set to go to Auburn and ended up not going at the last second. So until he is officially announced and signed, I remain very optimistic and hopeful, but I would like that to be announced today, but it's not going to be. So it is what it is. But I think that we're far enough along in the process that I think Lane Kiffin will be the next coach of the Gators.
Yeah, I do too. Let me give you a bunch of thoughts. First of all, there are all these rumors it was going to happen yesterday. I never believed that.
Right.
Never believed that all of a sudden Lane Kiffin was going to be announced as the Florida coach a day after beating Florida with a game left in the regular season and with the biggest season they've ever had. I never believed that was going to happen. I do believe there's a chance it happens after the Egg Bowl so everybody can get their ducks in a row. I do believe that. If there's one, like you don't know till you know, but the one thing that I thought was so telling, I don't know if you saw his post-game presser. Mm-hmm. But in Lane's post-game presser, somebody asked, hey, do you feel like now that Ole Miss, that crowd, how energized it was tonight, is really starting to feel like a blue blood and can be the kind of fan base the blue bloods all have? And did you see the look on his face, man? Even before he answered, the smirk on his face, and his first thing he goes, were you here last week? That was his answer. The first thing he said was, were you here last week? They played a Citadel, and there wasn't much of a crowd. And he said, yeah, they were good tonight, but were you here last week? That has bugged him. It bugged him earlier in the season when Washington State came in and nobody went to the game from the student section. He wants to go to a blue blood. And I've thought that all along. I've thought that from people I know that know him. That he wants, and I think Florida's the job he wants. We've talked about it. He met Layla's first. He and Layla's first date was a swamp. Then I admired Spurrier, and we know all that. That's been said countless times. But I thought it was reemphasized to me in the first thing he said in the presser. He said, "Were you here last week?" Not man. That was great. Yeah, we're building something. We're close, man. Those fans, man. He was annoyed by the question.
Yeah. And he's had every opportunity to sit there and say, I'm not going anywhere. I want to stay here. And he won't do it because I don't think he's staying there. And I think now look, again, if something happens, who knows? And it remains to be seen. But, and even the tone of the Ole Miss folks has changed as well. I mean, you can tell that they're almost understanding about what's about to occur here. And they may not like it. And I get it, but it is what it is. But boy, I like watching his offense.
Me too. And one other thought about the pursuit. I think this. Here's what I think is going to happen. I agree with you. I think they've had conversations, and I think everything you hear is that they have a pretty good idea where money and deal and NIL they've sort of agreed. That doesn't mean they've agreed on everything, but by now we know they've talked. By now we know they're kind of on the same page. My guess is something like this happens. My guess is after the final regular season game that you see an announcement that Lane Kiffin's going to be the Florida coach. And I think you see details. My hope for both programs are that the details are Lane Kiffin is going to coach the Ole Miss football team into the playoffs. Two guys he's hired will start running the Florida operation. I wouldn't be surprised to see Scott Strickland come out and say, listen, we are thrilled that we've got our new football coach. We are thrilled that the heights he can take us to. But we also understand that our conference brethren, Ole Miss, has a chance to play for a championship. And if Lane doesn't arrive till after that, we're okay because this is – I think it's something like that. It may not be the exact words, but I think we're headed to something like that. And I'll go as far as to say now, I would be roundly surprised if Lane Kiffin isn't the coach. Do you feel that? Like you, it's not done till it's done.
Right. I would be extremely surprised if he is not the coach at the University of Florida. I know that, and you're right, the playoffs a different animal. But you remember, like Kirby was hired at Georgia, and I'm pretty sure Greg McGarity gave him the option of finishing the job, which he wanted to do, and balancing both ain't easy because you got to get a staff. Staff is now, again, there are hours in the day, and I'm sure if Lane is going, Lane is already talking to people who will go with him in building his staff if that's the way it's going to be. So, I'm excited about it. I would be thrilled and ecstatic with Lane Kiffin being the next coach of the Florida Gators.
And I can tell you, that's a big boy staff he has now. Pete Golding was Saban's DC at Alabama. Joe Judge was an NFL head coach. I mean, that Charlie Weiss Jr. is a rising mega star. I mean, that's a big time staff that you got to pay. And so my guess is all that. So I would be very excited as well. I think that's what's going to happen. And we'll talk more about that. I will say this. I want to get to the football team in a minute too, and even the basketball team. But before we do, I will say this. Because every Gator fan has gone all in. I mean, all the chips are in the table now. There's no I mean, we've all gone all in. Every chip.
Right.
If for some reason it wasn't him.
Oh.
Boy, it's going to be tough on the next guy. Because now it's
not one thing that'll save him, Frank. He's not Napier.
Yeah. Well, that's right.
So whoever it is,
I agree.
It would be tough because we all are expecting and all want and even are picturing. But he won't be Napier, and so that alone will buy him some
I agree.
credibility.
I agree with that. But I just, it's almost not like you're just following Napier. You're following the promise or the hope of Kiffin.
Yeah, that's true.
And so again, I think it's going to be Kiffin. So I think that becomes a moot point. But I do find myself thinking, boy, oh boy, it's going to be hard if it's not. But anyway, I think it's going to be Kiffin. And again, my guess is that most of the rudiments are in place for the arrangement. My guess is you're not going to hear anything. Remember, Ole Miss has an off week now. And then you're not going to hear anything till after the Thanksgiving. They play Friday. And by the way, I think Lane's son plays that night. So everything could be done by the Saturday of Thanksgiving weekend. And so now Florida plays Florida State. Do they wait till after that game to announce it? But I think somewhere along the line, I think that's what you're going to see.
You can let it break whenever you want. I don't care as long as it breaks.
As for the football team,
yeah,
I'll go back to what I said before. As much as I hate feeling this way, I don't think they can beat Tennessee. I think Tennessee. I don't think they can. Tennessee has a heck of a time in the swamp, by the way, but Tennessee can score, and I fear that Florida will have trouble scoring with them. But once again, I'm worried about the quarterback. He started out. Listen, when DJ Lagway can drop back and there's a guy running open deep, he's pretty good because he's an accurate deep thrower. He also, when he can run downhill straight ahead, he's a good physical runner. He looks like one of those big 230-pound tailbacks. But once teams start playing zone and mixing coverages, boy, he looks lost. I thought he looked lost again, and I feel like I'm always picking on DJ, and I hate that because I like who he is. Mm-hmm. But I felt like he was lost. Once things changed in that second half, and DJ had to make some decisions and who to throw it to and who not to throw it to and what to anticipate, I thought he was lost in the second half, Dan.
Well, I mean, look at it like this, put it in a nutshell. He had by far his best game of the year.
No question.
And his best game of the year was 50% completion rate, 200 yards, touchdown. I mean, it wasn't good, and no points in the second half. I mean, it's the big decisions will be made by whomever the next coach is, by the young man and the staff. He may not. I don't know if he's Florida's long-term solution. I don't know. Well, I don't know, and I don't care in this respect. It's a different world now. He's gotten paid a ton of money.
Right.
He's a good kid. I like him. But I don't care if every single person connected with Florida football leaves. It got so bad. Again, 3-7, sub 500 for 4 years. I mean, it's just been unacceptable. Yeah. And it's all Napier's fault, but guilty by association. So if you got to change the whole program, change the whole damn program.
Yeah, and I think they'll save some of those good defensive players and skilled guys. But you're right. I agree with you too. It's more important about fixing it.
Seems like the kids have been told something, or you have deals in place, so you're not. Because I saw this, like, not one recruit has even said I'm out.
That's right. Yeah,
which is odd.
Well, I do think this. The Kiffin thing has gotten so much attention. I said this on my radio show. Uh-huh. The Kiffin thing has gotten so much attention that people are excited about being part of it, even though they don't know him.
Right.
It's not like some coaches coming out of nowhere you've never heard of.
Right.
And then you got to decide if you want to play for him. The Kiffin to Florida thing has gotten so much national attention and certainly regional attention that people want to be part of it, even though they're not. I mean, it's the part that's the party you want to go to, and that's why guys aren't bailing, because hey, yeah, our coach is leaving, and the way we knew it is over. But man, apparently the biggest party in college football is about to arrive. We don't want to miss that. Heck, we're already here. Yeah. We have a step up, so I think that's why you haven't seen that. Back one other thought about Kiffin, not the prospects of the Florida coach, just Kiffin the coach. Think about this for a second. He had Jackson Dart last year, who might have been the best quarterback in college football. He certainly was the second one drafted, and right now he looks better to me than Cam Ward. So he might have had the best quarterback in college football last year. All right,
right.
Stay with me. He also had his heir apparent in Austin Simmons, an athletic, strong-armed, left-handed quarterback. So he lost the best quarterback in college football, certainly among the best two. That's not debatable. He lost his backup that had been waiting his turn and waiting his turn and waiting his turn. Lost both of them.
Yeah.
And they're 10-1 and might win the national championship because he went and found some guy that nobody knew about. and has made him one of the best quarterbacks in college football. If that's not a testament to how good this guy is, I don't know what is.
That's a great point. That's a great point. Hey, let's talk basketball before we get out of here. Definitely a different team. Definitely a great front court, obviously. But the guards are struggling. I mean, the two guards, Boogie and Xavier, are really struggling, especially shooting the ball. And, Herbs has bailed them out. Our second Urban is meaning something to this Gator athletics program. He bailed them out against FSU and, quite frankly, helped them beat big part of the reason why they beat Miami last night.
Yeah. It's early. It's only 4 games in.
Sure.
But I'll make a few points here. Number one, the storyline is already set. The front court's very good. Will the guards be able to shoot well enough to keep them in games and have them win games? We know that's the storyline. I'll say this about Lee and Flan. Lee and Flan look like good players to me. They just can't make anything.
Can't make anything.
In this day and age, you got to make threes. Clavsar is going to make a bunch of threes. That'll help. But can the guards make something? Think about this for a second. They lost Clayton, Richard, and Martin. We all know that.
Sure.
That they won the national title in large part because of those guys. You realize Denzel Aberdeen is Kentucky's leading scorer?
I saw that. I saw him against Louisville. I wasn't happy.
He went for 26 against Louisville. And he right now, 4 games in, is their leading scorer. Well, Florida lost all 4 of those guys. Yeah. So think about this, too. The best – I had this argument on Twitter with some knuckleheads a couple months ago. The best guards, the best teams in Florida history, other than the Horford Noah teams, and you know this because you're old like me, okay? The best teams in Florida history have had veteran guards. Moulton and Maxwell in the 80s, Dan Cross and Craig Brown in the 90s, Wilbekin and Michael Frazier in the 14 team, and then last year's team. Because that's what you have to have. You have to. So if Flan and Lee, and I think they're going to be. I like them as players. I like the way they handle. They're physical. They get to the glass. They're both good passers. I like all that. I just hope they can make. So the only storyline out there is, can they make shots? And the other thing is, man, they have a hard schedule. I mean, they're going to play Arizona, UConn, Duke, TCU, Providence or Wisconsin, FSU, Miami. That's not a normal pre-conference schedule. And then the conference is really tough too. So the whole question, to your point, will be, can the guards make shots?
Yeah, and listen, I think last year it was about this time, about 5, 6, 7 games in, where you watch this team and you were like, you kind of see a path to the Final Four. Yeah. Kind of got Final Four vibes.
Right.
I guess the best way to put it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think we agreed about that last year. And you watch these guys, you're like, no, they're good.
Right.
They're good. And I'll say this, I don't quite have that feeling yet this year.
Well, no, I don't either. But let me ask you this question about this. Do you think maybe they have to figure out their identity?
Sure.
Let me run something at you. And I didn't go. I called the Jags game. I was blown, so I didn't go last night. I watched it on TV. You might have gone. I didn't go. I was tired. But I did watch it on TV. I watched the Miami game on TV. And right now, the narrative is they're going to be real big because Houck's going to play he's almost 6'10". He's going to play the 3.
And he's really good.
Really, really good.
Really good player.
2 big guys, and they'll play 3 guys at the 2 big spots. They're really good up front. But, last night, for people that are watching the Miami game, so Handlogton got a concussion, was out for the game. He got hurt in the first half. Chinyelu and Condon both fouled out. So you're down 3 of your 4 big guys with 5-6 minutes left. So they had to go small. They played the 6'11" backup guy for a little bit. But interesting, when they went 2 bigs, and really after Handlogton went out, they started going 2 bigs, 3 smalls. They played Isaiah Brown. They were quicker. Did you notice that, Dan? That they looked like last year's team more.
Right.
I'm not saying that's how they should play.
Right.
They played full court press. Did you see that? They played that quarter court press they like to play. They matched Miami's quickness when they went smaller. So the point is, I think Todd's a really good coach. Still got to kind of figure out what he's got. I don't think he knows his rotation yet, and I think they're going to be fine. So they're going to be fine.
I mean, so I agree. I'm curious to see them continue to evolve, I think, is kind of what you're saying, and I'll be curious. I also always interested in the dynamic. Like, I was thinking about this, like Condon, Condon has gotten all the press clippings. those of us who watched him thought he struggled a little down the stretch last year. Is that fair to say? In the tournament?
It is.
And him and Tommy are best friends, right? They seem like they're best buds. And it's interesting watching Tommy's game take off. Now, Condon played better last night. He got screwed by a foul with 19 minutes and 42 seconds left in the first half.
That touchdown.
Blowing a whistle on a play 30 feet from the hoop.
Right.
Come on, man. But anyway, I'll be curious to see that dynamic and how, I mean, I know they root for each other, but I wonder, is Hauck good enough that he might become the guy? He might become the guy who needs to take the shot?
Well, I think that's already happened. I think he's already the guy. He's already their best player, but he's got a prettier game because he makes threes and he plays out on the floor. But Condon's good, man. Condon
he had a move on the blocks last night that was really that's why they love him.
That move with the left hand. He also dreamed 2 threes last night.
Yes,
he got every rebound. So look, they're best buddies. Hauck's probably he's going to be their most complete player because he's got that long range game and he also plays out in space. But I love having them both. And Chinyelu developed some offense last night.
He did.
So
touch.
That big fella. That court's going to be fantastic. The first thing you said when we started talking hoops, can the guards make shots?
Yep.
And if the guards can make shots, they're going to the Final Four again, bro. And if the guards can't make shots, when they go through that brutal SEC, it's going to be a tough road. So it comes down to that. Clavsar, don't count him out, by the way.
No, he looked. That was by far his best game, and it wasn't just the shooting. He's a little. Sometimes he seems out of control, but last night he looked much better. Some good passes. I was very encouraged by what I saw from him.
I think he's a complete offensive player. I think he can handle, and he made the one no-look pass. I don't know if he can defend at that level. The question is, can he defend? Is he big enough, athletic enough to defend? But he'll be good. So that's all things Gators. We got Kiffin. We got Lagway. What else do we talk about? We got hoops. We got it all. And we're all waiting with bated breath, Dan, to see what happens. We'll talk next week after the Tennessee game, see how they did against Tennessee, who struggles in the swamp.
Yep.
But I think then we'll be 1 week away from a new coach. I really believe that.
All right, my man. Well, have a great week. Frank Frangie, Dan Hicken, all things Gators, as Frank said, brought to you by our friends at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, se-ortho.com for all your orthopedic needs. We'll talk to you next week, Frank.
See you, Hick.
All right, buddy.